Hello teachers, my name is Teacher Stephanie from teachingstephanie.com, and in this video we are going to be talking about creating passive income from teaching flexible classes with Outschool. Did you know that you can create classes that you do not have to attend live on Outschool? You can just support the students in the online classroom on the Outschool platform. Mind blown. Wow, online teaching just became even more flexible. In this video, I'm going to show you what a flexible class is in Outschool and how it works for the students and teachers. I will also show you my own example of a flexible class, what it is and how it works. I will also show you how to create a flexible class from a class that you've already been approved to teach on Outschool. Let's get to it. All right, like I said, we are going to be talking in this video about creating passive income from creating flexible classes on Outschool. Now, you may not know what Outschool is. I teach for a company called Outschool, and you can check out my playlist to learn all about them, what I make, how I teach for them, and how it works. So go and check out that playlist if you don't know what Outschool is. I'm also talking about flexible class types in this video. If you're not sure what the class types are in Outschool, again, I have a video for that. Go check out the video all about class types with Outschool. You can see the difference between one-time classes, multi-day classes, short courses and ongoing classes, and again, flexible classes, so that you know the difference between all of the class types. Now, on to the main idea, which is creating passive income for a flexible class with Outschool. First, we are going to be talking about what a flexible class is and how it works for the students and teachers. A flexible class on Outschool is a class that does not have any live meetings, although you can still choose to do these in your flexible class. This makes it so that the students can choose when they're consuming the instructional information, and thus it is flexible. The teachers and students chat in the classroom page with text going back and forth. I send out instructional videos for my students along with games and worksheets for them to follow along with daily prompts that they can tell me if they're understanding the material, they can ask any questions, and all I have to do is make sure that I am interacting with them and checking for understanding in that classroom page. Now, maybe all of this information is going way over your head and you're going, I have so many questions. Don't worry, I got you. If you are starting at ground zero with applying to Outschool, you have no idea what it is, what you need to do, what the requirements are, and how to teach your classes, don't worry. I have a free, comprehensive guide to teach you all about all things Outschool. We go over how to answer the application questions, how to submit your video, things to create a winning profile. I have videos on all these things, and I also have the guide, so be sure to check it out. You can download the guide in the link in the description box so that you can start teaching with Outschool with me. Now, let's take a look about what my flexible class is and what that looks like. Now, I have a multiplication multi-day class with Outschool. It is 8 lessons, 8 days, and we go over 0 through 12 of the multiplication facts. I have really worked this out over time in finding the flow that works best for me in creating the materials, and I've worked out all the bugs and know how to teach it that it became automated. And that is what makes for a great flexible class, is when you have your lessons down pat, that you can just start sending them out and sending the knowledge, giving them instructional videos that are easy, understandable, and they make for a great class that the students can do on their own. Now, because I already have 8 lessons planned out with the materials ready to go, I was able to make 8 instructional videos for this flexible class. All I did was teach the regular class with the materials, with all of that, and then after class, I just recorded myself on Zoom completely alone in the session, just me, myself, teaching that exact same lesson the exact same way, sharing the screen, telling them where to write in their workbooks, doing practice problems. I taught the same lesson and just recorded myself teaching that lesson. Now, along with the instructional videos that I send to the students to do a workbook along with me in the recording, I also have scheduled daily posts. So I came up with a format of how I want them to do the class. I always encourage them and tell them they can do it however they want to, but I feel like it helps them to have a little bit of instruction on how the class works best in their learning. So I came up with the formula that on Mondays I would send out the video for the week. On Tuesday we would do a skill test. Wednesday, I would check for understanding. Do you guys have any questions? How is it going for you? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. On Thursdays, they get to play a multiplication game, and I send them the link to that where they get to practice some of the skills they're learning. And on Friday, we do a little pop quiz to check for understanding. Now, this is a little bit excessive. Again, I want quality, really great lessons for my students. You do not have to post every day. In fact, I've seen many classes that are great that just post their instructional video with the instructions for the week, and they just check in as the students have questions throughout the week. For me, it's easy to just post daily, and I'll show you how I do that on the Outschool platform. Okay, so here we are in the specific class in the classroom tab. I've already written up my post, and I can add a file if I want to. Sometimes for the first of the class, I'll post a picture of myself so that they get to know me a little bit, and I ask them to tell me about themselves. Then once you've uploaded the file, you can see it in the post. Then you will click send. After that, click publish later. You can select the date that you want it to publish and the time. I do all of mine at the same time in the morning and have all of the posts scheduled out. You can see all of your unpublished posts all ready to go so that you can check up if they're ready and when they're going to be sent out to the students. Something I should note that when you are in Outschool, you are the tech team, you are the customer service team, you are representing the company as well as your own teaching brand. So you want to make sure that you provide stellar customer service. That means for me, whenever a student posts a question or comment in that classroom page for the Flex class, I'm sure to answer it within 24 hours. If the student does have a question and it's not something that I can easily answer in a quick text back, I do try to do an impromptu video, very casual and quick to the point. I pull out my phone, I videoed myself answering that question saying, hey Amy, I saw you're having trouble with the 11s. Here's a simple trick that might help you. I get out my whiteboard, I quickly do it, and I send it off. It's maybe 1 to 2 minutes. I might fumble through my words, but I make sure that those students are getting the answers to their questions and getting a little more instruction from me if they need it. Now, like I said, I like to provide quality lessons for my students, and I would love to help you do the same too. If you did not know this, I like to create lesson plans for teachers. These are teachers that don't have the time or they don't have the desire to create these lesson plans. I love to do it and I'd love to do it for you. We sit down, we have a 30-minute consultation session where you tell me your ideas and I create a class plan for you to submit to Outschool, get approved, and go on to teach this lesson. If you are interested in doing that, I will leave a link in the description box where you can schedule a consultation today. Now let's go over point number 3, which is creating a flexible class from a class that you have already been approved to teach. Like I said, if you don't have a class that you've already been approved to teach, schedule a consultation with me. I'd be happy to get you to that point so that you can create these flexible classes. Do you need to have a class approved to teach to do a flexible class? Yes and no. Before you can get the option to create a flexible class, you do need to teach a one-time class with no negative reviews. Once you've been approved, you will have the option to create multi-day classes, ongoing classes, flexible classes. So make sure that you have at least one-time class that's been approved through Outschool. Now, creating great classes takes time. You've got to work out the kinks. So making sure that you've taught a class is the reason I know you can create a great flex class because you've already done that. The first thing I want you to do is to break your class down into chunks for your instructional videos. I already had those down from the multi-day class. I already had 8 lessons that they did 8 times in the multi-day class, so it was easy for me to just create those lessons. Maybe you have a course that is a little bit longer. Maybe you have a 2-day course, but they're hour-long courses and they take a little bit of time. Maybe you want to break that into 4 videos or whatever you want to do. Just start scheduling the chunks for your instructional videos for your course. Okay, my second tip is that I want you to create something that makes the course a little interactive. This is going to make for a great course and get you some great reviews from parents that aren't just sticking their kid in front of a video again to get a little bit of instruction. Have them do something in your class. For me, I created a workbook that they fill along with me as they're watching the instructional video. They're filling in blanks, they're answering problems, they're working out how these multiplication tricks work with me in the video. This makes it interactive as much as it can be without being a live class. For those tech-savvy teachers out there, a great option is nearpod. This gives you ways for them to answer questions throughout the video, to do pop quizzes, to compete against each other in challenges. I'm not quite there yet, but one of my goals this year is to learn how to use that with my flexible classes that I'm creating. All right, and my last tip for you for creating these classes is to schedule out your posts. One, create a format. What is it going to be for you? Maybe it's like mine. Monday the video goes out. Maybe that's it. Maybe it is the video goes out, you do a little pop quiz, and you check for understanding. It can be simple, but just create those scheduled posts for the entirety of your flex class. My biggest tip here is to save it to a spreadsheet. When I scheduled my first flex class, I created this post as we went through the class, but I saved them slowly to a spreadsheet. After all the classes were done, I had 8 weeks worth of all the scheduled posts saved to my spreadsheet, and now I just copy and paste before the next class starts. Now again, I want you to copy and paste these whenever the flex class starts. This takes me between 5 and 10 minutes for the whole 8 weeks of classes for these flex classes. It's the majority of my work now is pretty much passive. I've got the videos recorded, the workbook is ready. All I have to do is schedule those posts to go out every day on Outschool and then interact as the comments and questions come in from the students. All right, congratulations, you just learned how to create a flex class on Outschool. Now, I want to know, what classes are you going to turn into flex classes? What do you already have in your repertoire that you now can turn into that passive income? Let me know in the comments. I'm so excited to hear from you. Now, if this video was helpful for you and you're excited to jump into creating flex classes, I would really appreciate a big thumbs up so that I know this was helpful content and I can create more like it in the future. Now, do you have any questions for me? You can leave those questions in the comments below, or you can always email me at teachingstephanieo@gmail.com. I'm always happy to help you with anything with online teaching. Now, if you want to learn more about finding the fun with online teaching, click any of these videos up on the screen and they will teach you more about all of the fun things about online teaching. And as my hero, Mr. Rogers, says, let's make the most of this beautiful day. Goodbye.